Okay, good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Smudcast 767, Why Secret Identities Would Never Work IRL. And I think this is pretty much a given. Anyone who's read a comic book, watched a comic movie, or had any kind of superhero story, you go, wait a second, how does this guy go about his day and not be recognized as the thing that's on TV, or being recognized as someone who's missing the majority of his hours and somehow is able to make it to school on time or to work? The joke has always been with Batman, he barely sleeps. He only goes out at nights. No one sees him. He has all this darkness and seclusion and hidden caves all over the city. So there's some arguments to be made, but for the most part, it's pretty unbelievable. You would not have...
Batmobile always comes from the same direction and drives off into the same direction.
Yeah, in that case,
I wonder who he...
You would just watch the traffic and just go, oh, look, the Batmobile's leaving exactly the same time and location every time. So it doesn't take that much logic to figure out from where they're going to come out next and to figure out how they got there. So it's not a big deal. This is kind of the joke that I remember watching Death Note, where L figured out, oh, this is the behavior of when this guy kills people is a schedule for people from 9 to 5. But he figured out, oh, this is the schedule of a high schooler in Japan. And you're like, yeah, but couldn't that have been anyone from 9 to 5 or from 8 to 4, whatever the schedule might be? So there's certain ways that stories figure out identities that can work. And the most obvious way is the simplest, like Superman in glasses, whereas in the comics they were magical glasses for some reason. Wearing masks, not being available on time when you should, always being tired, all kinds of wonderful human routines that get distorted whenever you are doing something else. And even if you're a masked vigilante, it should be noticeable that, hey, why is Steve never around during all these events? So kind of easy to figure that out. But I'm sure...
On the other hand, for a superhero, there's not really something going on every day. Most days are boring and nothing's happening, and you can have just a normal life.
If we were to put them into the real world, yeah, there's not that much crime in the scale of a superhero story compared to petty theft, Grand Theft Auto, maybe a mugging.
All the episodes we see where something happens is the actual time something happens.
And it's supposed to be exciting. So it's not just fighting people, it's fighting giants, it's fighting aliens, it's fighting all kinds of magical beings. So that's why we have the superheroes. You would not create a superhero that could not go up against something stronger than themselves or something at least on the same level that would be interesting. If it was just Superman just beating everyone up, it wouldn't be much of a story. So you need to challenge these godlike creatures in the DC universe or any comic book world, or else it just wouldn't work. It would just be a power fantasy.
It's also why many superheroes over time get a very close circle of very trusted friends who do know what's going on, because they eventually have to figure it out.
That reminds me of various episodes of The Flash on TV, because they're all together in a lab. They're all figuring this guy out. No one can detect the Flash. He's so quick. They know that people know he exists. They have no idea who he is. And that character, like Superman as well, because he's so quick, he can get away with being in one place for a time and then immediately warping back to his other identity, which is at least conceivable. Notwithstanding the giant shockwave he leaves in his wake to run that fast to get to where he needs to go. Everyone's like, why is Clark always late? Oh, what was that gust of wind? Oh, there's Clark. It's like, wait a second. How does that work?
Also, Jay Jameson in the chat that is still protected by Steven Seagal, mentions that most superhero stories are set in a time prior to cell phones, which have changed the landscape significantly. The fifth season of Lupin the Third is more or less all about that. How does the world's greatest thief still stay hidden in a world where everyone has a camera?
Oh,
and the same would go for all superheroes.
I do recall the people were saying, what if we were to ask the internet to figure out who Kira was in Death Note, and they would probably figure it out within hours. Like it wouldn't take very long to figure out who this person is, where they'd be located, where the deaths are occurring. Like it'd just be this obvious thing.
Oh, 4chan would have done it in an afternoon.
Yeah, it would just be the simplest thing to figure out when you have all these people working on the same problem, and they all get different like data points and ways of figuring this out. So it depends on what the public is trying to do. Like with Bruce Wayne, it's like, okay, how many super rich, super buff people who could do these things that you know? And it's like, okay, we'll narrow it down. There's probably like a dozen. They go, okay, this guy's over here, this guy's over there. Does he match the profile? Does he have access? Does he have technology? It's like, okay, there's only these two possible people. And then you go, all right, it must be him.
Mm-hmm.
It's not hard. This is basic deductive logic. And unless you're in a world of playboys that have billions of dollars and access to all kinds of resources, you really got to have this verisimilitude watered down, or else it just doesn't make any sense. Like with the DC universe, there's so many crazy people in it, so many powerful beings, so many rich people, aliens, beings from hell, charming and manipulating things. You have the Sandman running around. You have all these characters distorting reality.
It's almost more weirdos than normal people.
There's just so much crazy things happening that you're like, can we even begin to start using basic logic to figure this out? And once you start applying reality to it, it doesn't make sense. I remember people were talking about the believability. Like, what would Batman do in real life, and how could he do all these feats? Like, he would have like a few hours of sleep. He would be able to rappel down buildings and fly in the air. Like, it would do an incredible number on his body, so that
you would not do it like in the Batman, because that man would be dead.
He would not be able to take all the shocks to his skeleton for one thing, and maybe he'd have like 2 or 3 years of really good things that you might see in the comics. But after that, his body would be shot. His spine would be shot. His legs would totally be broken, if not being unable to stretch that far and withstand those impacts.
To be fair, that is more the time frame of how most superhero stories seem to take if we go by their main beats. If we look at the Batman the Animated Series, all those main events seem to happen like starting from Mask of the Phantasm all the way through to the end of the animated series. That's a couple of years, not more.
Yeah, in that series, that Batman was just a guy in a cape and a cowl. Like, that's all he was. He didn't have like bulletproof armor, or it's like a helmet that could withstand impacts. Like, he was just a guy.
Yeah.
So they played it really like safe with
all these other Batmans. They are retellings of the same story in parallel worlds, if you will. That's why they have they play in different periods of time. That's why they have different technology levels. That's why they have different gimmicks.
Oh yeah, with Marvel, that was really changed when they brought in the Shi'ar Empire and the Legion, the Phalanx, and it was like, oh, now we have this alien technology which is so far advanced that we do have Charles Xavier in a hover wheelchair or in some sort of medical stasis that we could put people in and keep them that way for a while. Like, there's ways to suspend disbelief a little better when you have aliens pop in and alter reality or holograms or what have you to make things appear differently. So that was always a thing in Marvel. I don't know about DC that much. So these things have to use a lot of science fiction and fantasy to get the believability to work. And that's why I mentioned Superman's magical glasses when he was first introduced, that because even the writers were like, this doesn't make any sense. We got to make his glasses special or something.
Yeah. Doug of Ur in the chat asks, hail Doug of Ur, didn't Henry Cavill prove they would work by standing under the Batman v Superman poster, dressed as Clark Kent but wearing a Superman t-shirt, and no one recognized him?
Oh, that was a live thing he did in, is it New York Square? Where was it? It was downtown Manhattan or something like that. And no one recognized him as Henry Cavill, even when he was wearing a Superman t-shirt. So I thought was kind of, because people in New York are busy. They don't have time to putz around. Yeah, whatever.
Yeah, they're also celebrity crazed, especially Henry Cavill.
I know.
The women would be all over him. If
it was Toronto, it'd be different.
One of the last kind of actors like that.
You got to actually go down to the various boroughs of New York and see how it is, because most people don't care. But you never know. Anyway, we've got 7 minutes of this video. It came out. When did it come out? Just last month. It's got almost 105,000 views. That's amazing for a 7-minute video that probably is going to be a waste. But hopefully.
By a tiny channel, yeah, that is good.
Yeah, he's got only 50,000 subs almost. Yeah, that's pretty good for him. I'm just guessing this has got to have something really good to talk about, because everyone who's ever read a comic goes, yeah, these thoughts already ran through my head. So, anyway, Bad Boy Beta's here. How's it going, sir? Oh, he's
Can
there.
you hear him?
I don't know. I can't hear him.
No. Check your Discord sound input in the settings. Maybe that's the issue.
Yeah. No audio whatsoever. But anyway, let's get going. Hopefully we can all hear the video and watch together.
Secret identities are to the superhero business, but when you think about it, they're pretty stupid. It would be next to impossible for someone in real life to maintain a secret identity. Let's start with Spider-Man. Now, as we all know, Spider-Man is Peter Parker.
Pizza time.
Anyone who knows Peter Parker and has a single brain cell would be able to figure out that this man is a superhero. Oh boy, I sure do love hanging out with my friend Peter Parker. Oh no, the Green Goblin broke out for the 9 millionth time this year, and he's butt fucking the city. Let's go, Peter, we have to get to Peter? Oh shit, where did Peter go?
He left you to die.
Peter's,
because he ran faster than you, because you're fat.
Peter's scared. Peter knows how to stay and huddle in the bathroom of any public store. So
Peter's already in the emergency shelter while you are still eating donuts.
Peter took his pizza delivery scooter and took off. Peter called a cab. Peter just...
And make sure that Aunt May is safe.
There's lots of reasons why someone's not around you in a crisis scenario and things are blowing up. So, but anyway.
Oh no, I guess he must have ran ahead without me. Oh look, there's Spider-Man conveniently swinging in right now to go fight Green Goblin. Just as Peter disappeared. It's almost as if he just went into a back alley somewhere and put on his fucking Spider-Man costume when I wasn't looking. And then they do that goofy shit where after he defeats the villain, he comes back in his civilian clothes and he's like, oh, sorry, I disappeared. I ran ahead to go get the police. What happened? Is it over? Man, shut your goofy ass up, man. I know you're Spider-Man. OMG, Peter, you're always late to our dates. And every time that you're late, there's always a crime going on, and Spider-Man has to stop it. Are you living some kind of double life that I don't know about? If you're hiding something from me, you need to tell me right now. Otherwise...
Yeah, it eventually comes to these points. These are usual story beats in many superhero stories. What's your point?
Yeah, I'm not liking this appeal to emotion.
He doesn't seem to have read a lot of superhero stories or watched them or anything.
This is a common element in many of them, yeah.
Yeah. The eventual reveal.
The girlfriend is not that stupid.
Yeah. Peter, why are you always disappearing when something horrible is starting to happen? And Spider-Man always saves me. But I never see you at the same time. Mary, I'm sorry, I have to tell you something. And that's how it goes. It's like not uncommon.
Yeah.
It happens to Bruce Wayne. I mean, a certain surprising amount of people, including villains, know who Batman is, but they don't reveal it further to other people.
Yeah.
Even when they're antagonists to him.
Yeah, it's as if they know that they don't want to, because it's not about destroying his identity or his life. It's about destroying or beating the Batman, not beating Bruce Wayne. And with Joker, it's all a game, so he wants the game to keep going on, so he would never want that to happen.
Same with Riddler.
Yeah.
Nobody can tell me that Riddler did not always know who Batman is.
Yeah, he's too smart. It would be...
I mean, Riddler delivered some of his supervillain gimmick things to the Batcave for fun, to mess with Batman. So he knows.
Yeah. So that's good, because the villains are their own person. They don't care about these sorts of things. I think the only one was the Hush storyline, but even that is sort of it's internal information that he doesn't want anyone else to know except for him, because it's about a reveal that happens later. So he could have showed the world. I don't know. Depends on the character. So yeah, this is kind of like the unspoken rule. It's like, just let it go. Don't worry. Have it hand waved in some other fashion.
And you have weird, unorthodox stories like Spawn, where it's kind of secret but also irrelevant, because the actual guy is dead, because he came back from hell.
Yeah, that's the bigger reveal. He's a demon. There's a demon. Hell is real, and they're gonna kill everyone. Like, oh. Okay.
And when he tries to disguise himself as a mortal man to blend in, he can't take the form of his former self, of his true self. It's a curse of its own. But one of his enemies eventually figures it out in a revenge plot. But that also doesn't matter. I think he dies.
Well, the whole point with Spawn is if he uses up all his, was it necro energy or whatever it's called, he becomes a slave to that giant demon creature that gave the power.
Soul goop.
Yeah, so he's never really using his abilities. He's always just using his cape and his chains.
Yeah, which is a great way to postpone the whole thing.
Yeah.
Not postpone. It's a good limiter to not just go all bonkers with Spawn. There's I think it's issue 10, which was not re-released for years because of a misunderstanding. And that is in part a fantasy where what the world would be like if Spawn had no limitations, among other things. And he would be the ultimate superhero with all the powers that even Superman would look up to. That's kind of the idea there.
Yeah, it's kind of important to have this limitation, especially with characters that are so ridiculously strong or whose abilities can grow so strongly. I remember the darkness. I don't know if you guys remember the video game that came out, was based off the comic book. His ability is he can manipulate anything in the darkness, but as soon as he procreates, that power gets passed on to his child, and he dies. So he loses everything. So because if you just keep getting stronger and stronger, and nothing can stop you, and you have this impenetrable skin because it's underneath your clothing, it's bulletproof or whatever. And the guy's name is Jackie Estacado. He's like a hitman for the mob. So he has to not fool around with all the hookers and try and figure out what's going on because he doesn't know what's happening. So it's that, like, little things like that give a certain twist to, okay, he's a really good hitman, and now he's like this demonically empowered antithesis to the Witchblade or whatever the hell the relationship was between the two. So give me more than just a guy with powers. Give me a reason, a limitation. Like Superman has his kryptonite. Spider-Man has his personal issues. I guess that's a limitation.
Yeah, just like Batman.
Yeah. Well, Batman doesn't really care too much about the personal issues.
Yeah, but he does. It's just that he buries them really deep. He's like the ultimate stoic.
Trying to be. He's always trying to not have a normal life, but his friends and family are like, no, why aren't you talking?
I think Batman's weakness is his neurosis.
Yeah.
The whole joke that Batman's the real character and Bruce Wayne is the fake.
It's that control over the top. I must be in control of everything, including my emotions and the city and the rehabilitation of the criminal. Like, everything must work always, all the way. I must be awake for everything. And he can't take it all the time. He has to stop and breathe. And when he stops and breathes,
he's what if Xanatos was a hero?
Yeah, maybe.
Keyblade Overload made me laugh in the chat. He said Dolly Parton lost a Dolly Parton lookalike contest. So secret identities definitely work in real life because people are dumb.
Well, I mean, she's got so much fake parts of her hair, makeup, face, body. I mean, everything is just fabricated. I mean, it could be different next year. We have no idea.
You have to get the fakery right.
Yeah, it's not fake enough. There's not enough plastic and Botox and hair stitches or whatever she uses for wigs. Anyway.
With you. Dude, this happens in like 90% of Spider-Man media, I swear. Like, yeah, he is living a double life. He's Spider-Man, you dumb bitch. Like, how'd you not piece that together? And then Peter would be acting like a fucking anime character, like, I wish I could tell you, but you wouldn't understand. It's for your own good. I'm just trying to protect you. Like, bro, shut the fuck up, man. Just tell you're Spider-Man, bro. Everyone fucking knows at this point. Wow, Peter, these are some amazing...
No, you are the reader. The reader knows more.
Yeah, I remember.
And you don't understand that people in the story do not.
Was it the scene from Spider-Man 1 or 2? I wish Gingaman was here to tell me. It's the scene where he stops the train with his webbing and he's pulling the buildings, the glass, and he's like pulling really hard. And he's finally gets it, push, and then finally it stops and his mask is ripped off. And everyone's like, don't worry, we won't tell anyone. Because it's not important. Because we don't know who you are. We see your face, but we're not going to tell anyone because you just saved everyone's life. We understand what you're going through. Here's your mask. Take it easy.
Yeah, we know what you've been doing all this time.
Yeah.
We've seen the hero, and we understand how important the hero is.
Yeah, and I thought that was beautiful because New York is like, yeah, you are important. We do not want to ruin you. You're a good thing for us. So I thought that was beautiful. And it
probably wouldn't happen like that anymore in real life.
No,
I can really imagine a time where that would have happened that way.
Yeah, everyone would whip out their cell phone. I don't think that
time is anymore.
The people
right
who are still alive and not traumatized would whip out their cell phone and just record everything. Yeah. Anyway,
horrible Black Mirror robots.
Photos of Spider-Man. I mean, they're so high quality. It's almost like he was posing for you or something. But as you know, Peter, I fucking hate Spider-Man because he's a menace. But you seem to always be on his side for some reason. It's almost like you really want to defend him.
It's almost like he's a trusted contact.
Yeah, that's kind of how it works.
That's the idea of how it's supposed to look.
You don't know.
Of course, eventually we'd get suspicious.
Yeah, but with journalism, you never reveal your sources. Jonah knows that, so he sees that Peter is a guy who either knows a guy who knows Spider-Man or just knows Spider-Man. He's like, great, I don't care. He just wants to know where he is, what he's doing, because he's hot news for his newspaper. So of course he cares about this.
Oh, Tyler Preston says Charlie Chaplin also lost in a lookalike contest.
Oh yeah. All right. Did he not have his cane? Like, what happened? Did he have his bowler hat?
Yeah. There was a time in when I was active in politics where people mistook me for somebody else in the party all the time. And we don't look anything alike except for having long hair, but not even our hair is the same. Which was really fun.
Yeah.
People came to me with documents and stuff and requests, and it was kind of like I felt a bit like a secretary of the guy.
Yeah.
Because I kept all the riffraff from him. It was funny.
Here's the $1 tip from the anal prolapse of us. Thank you, sir. There's a whole field in which requires secret identities and aliases in real life. They're called spies and tier 1 military operators. Video essayists are dumb. Next, you're going to tell me Jeffrey Epstein wasn't Batman. I mean, billionaire with a secret life. Yes, there's entire...
Very good cover-up if real-life Batman lived on that island.
Yeah, I mean...
Oh, you want to tell me they were all saved from human trafficking.
Oh.
Yeah, right.
That's how that worked.
Uh-huh.
For whatever reason, my brain went to that game called Terra Invicta. One of the creators of The Long War from XCOM 2 made his own game. And it's basically Spycraft of XCOM. Like, what if aliens came to our world? What would happen? And it wouldn't happen all at once. It would be very subtle. Like, we get disturbances. We get some encounters. We get maybe some spacecraft or something hitting the planet. And you'd have
the very detrimental, disruptive politics that we have all over the planet right now with globalism?
In a way, because this would involve like these 7 or 8 factions that would just be constantly fighting with shadow governments and installing themselves in every country to control the agenda, which was everything from...
Like the World Economic Forum.
Yeah. And it was this, like, if you could imagine 8 different factions on a human response to aliens. So the one extreme is embrace them.
I could.
Another extreme is kill them all, and the other extreme is our planet's screwed. We got to leave. Like these crazy, and everything in between. Like, we want to placate them, but we want to deal with them.
Mm-hmm.
Like, there's all these weird politics in that. And the game is all it is spycraft. There's very little. There is some military operations, but it's all just behind the scenes shadow governments. No one knows exactly who the agent is until you investigate them. You have to figure them out. Then you can make a double agent and all this crap. And if you like
on
that,
the surface, you have all the boring normal people who think everything is still fine. Let's go to the ballot box and vote for Party A or Party B or Party C. And it has all no effect on the actual shadow war.
Yeah. They don't have a voting. They don't really care who's in power because they're already in power. So they don't control the voting box. It's kind of funny that you could have all these coups d'etat like every week. It's like, oh, we threw over another country. It's like, what? What the hell is going on in this world that there's potential alien sightings and we have like alien space stations like in far, far orbit around our solar system, and we're trying to keep the Earth whole as opposed to killing each other. So it's one of those weird games where everything is in the background. And it takes so, like, if you thought Civilization was long, this is like so weird because you're not really doing anything you would in like a Civ game. You're just sort of manipulating people to your favor in the news, in the governments. You might be investigating a crash site, but that's like this. You might kill off an agent, but the chances of that are so rare. Like, it's such a weird game, but the idea is everything's in the background, which I thought is a different take.
Yeah. It's the idea of everybody thinks 7 steps ahead, and that's why nobody takes an actual action. Everybody's just weirdly moving around, this jittering on their seats, and that leads to nervous reactions on all the other people jittering around on their seats.
Anyway, that my brain went there for some reason. Anyway, it's just a silly thing.
Yeah, it's an interesting game.
It is.
It's the thinking man's game.
It's really long and annoying. You feel like you're not doing anything, and you're like, half a day has gone by because you've been playing like Civ. Like a Civ game could take weeks, and after half a day of this, you're just like, what exactly have I been doing? Like, I'm not exactly sure.
It's like real politics.
Yeah.
Dude, I'm telling you, I've done that for 10 years. That's exactly what it feels like.
All right.
Because even the big parties, they're moving against each other. It feels like the same way. You do tons of things every day. You talk with a dozen people. You write stuff. You follow through with projects. You plan stuff. You plan events and then have them and have conversations and talks and. But in effect, nothing really happens. And nobody really cares of the normal people, the normal inhabitants. It's that, but cooler.
Okay. Anyway, we are 2 minutes in, and I'm not liking this guy so far. I don't know how he got 100,000 views, but okay. Well, let's keep going.
Him or something. That's weird, but you can't be him totally. Because that doesn't make sense. Like, I swear, man, this would not slide in real life. Because these characters, there's no way these characters aren't catching on in the universe. I mean, honestly, I don't know how these motherfuckers in the Homecoming movie didn't figure out that Peter.
That's because that's a very badly written movie. It's an absolutely atrociously badly written movie. I don't know what more to say on this.
Parker was Spider-Man. Especially that scene at the Washington Monument.
God, that is such bad CG turds.
Like, no one's questioning why Spider-Man's in Washington, D.C. instead of New York. He's just conveniently there that day. Bruh. You know, thank God Spider-Man fucking fast traveled to Washington to save those school children. There's no way that he's also a student, right? I mean, they tried to address this in Far From Home, where he wore a different suit and pretended to be a different hero.
That's also a horribly written movie.
Night Monkey?
Because he was in Europe, and people would think it's weird if Spider-Man was in Europe, but no one thinks it's weird that he's in a completely different city.
He was also hyper incompetent, but that is the shtick of this Spider-Man.
To save a bunch of school children.
Are you serious right now, bro?
Speaking of stupid secret identities, we have Superman.
Really, nigga?
No one is falling for that, buddy. First of all, let's state the obvious, okay? His disguise is that he just wears glasses. Now, the common argument is that since he's a Giga Chad alien with super abilities...
Dude, I look totally different if I put in contacts. Glasses do change a lot.
He wears a suit. Suits are designed to make everyone look the same.
Yeah, if you change your hair slightly and wear completely different clothes, there are a lot of people that won't recognize you.
Like going
Not everyone,
yeah.
but some people have really good facial recognition.
Right.
Other people have terrible facial recognition, and most people are somewhere in between.
It's like going to the gym in a hoodie.
Yeah. By the way, this is what you mentioned. Intelligence agencies disguising their agents. This is what they actually do. They just clothe them slightly different. They don't try to make them look completely different because that sticks out too much. They just give them slight makeovers. There's levels to that disguise stuff, and most of it is just slightly different look.
Yeah.
Enough to throw people off that these are not the same guy.
And again, I do have to reiterate that he does have magical glasses, at least in the Silver Age. So
The thought of him disguising himself as a four-eyed virgin loser nerd reporter is inconceivable.
So what would you want him to be? Like a luchador in Mexican wrestling with his shirt off, wearing a mask? Like what?
Mexico would agree with that.
Like I mean, like what do you want him to do? Act like Superman? No.
Do nothing.
You
do nothing.
You,
hide in the dumpsters like Spawn does.
Just hide
on a throne of trash.
Under the bridge of some random city. Just live there.
Become king of the hobos.
That could work.
Yeah, this is Spawn has issues. Pun not intended. But that's some of the wacky ideas that are fun.
Yeah, don't interact with
about
humanity. Like don't have a job. Don't talk to people. Always wear a hood with sunglasses and a ball cap. Or
I will hide in my fortress of solitude at the North Pole.
Yeah, or just or actually act the opposite of Superman. Have a life, lead your, because he is Clark Kent. That is who he is. Superman is the alter ego. He does that when he needs to. He doesn't want to do it. He wants to be with Lois. He wants to have a family or whatever, home life. So the identity is just a thing.
I don't know. It's like it's like Batman, but for healthy reasons.
Yeah, and plus he's super
for Batman,
fast.
Bruce is the fake, but that's because he's insane.
Yeah, well.
And for Superman, Clark Kent is the alter ego because, well, he is a Kryptonian.
But he's super fast, so he can get away with launching himself all over the planet and then be back in time for his coffee break to be over at the Daily Planet. So it's...
Yeah, he would not... You would not expect Superman to walk through an office and sit in a cubicle and do cubicle stuff.
Exactly. Anyway, I got some super chats and a donation. Here we go. Legacy for the $9.99. Thank you, sir. Thing is, in the comics, Doc Ock did manage to unmask Peter in front of some people, even with JJ, but they were like, there's no way Puny Parker is Spider-Man. Really? So even after the unmasking, like, yeah, I don't believe you. That's not possible. Oh boy, I got to read that comic. That'd be great.
That sounds good. That sounds like a good story.
It's like, no, I don't believe you. Okay.
You're faking this. That guy, not that guy. Come on.
Okay.
We all know that guy. That he wouldn't jump from rooftop to rooftop. What the hell?
Here is Wisp molested me. Thank you for the donation there.
I contest that.
It's just a name. It's not real. Someone just made up a name. A disguise can fool lots of people. I remember this one time I took peyote, and went to a Halloween party in Canada, and I saw a genie, and I wished for every proton a neutron and every neutron a proton. The genie turned out to be Justin Trudeau.
That's why Canada's fucked.
I don't know where that joke went.
Where's the guy who's living in my walls? I haven't seen him in a while. Or heard. I never saw him.
All the jokes I hear of Justin Trudeau are just not funny for me.
Of course not.
Did you hear what we did? Was it this week or was it yesterday? I can't remember what happened. We suddenly put 20 billion with a B into
the B.
Yeah, before it was 1 billion for lunches for kids. Now it's 20 billion for housing, and we're going to bypass the provincial government. We're going to go straight to the municipalities, so we don't have to.
Oh, so you're doing emergency powers like the Austrian painter did in Germany.
It's like, let's just break the Constitution. It's like, let's not listen to the people in charge.
It's called treason. It's not that difficult.
It's like, where did we get $20 billion when we have like...
You don't have them. It's all to impoverish your country.
It's very confusing.
It's deliberate. That's the plan.
We're not sure.
Dude, we had 16 years of Angela Merkel doing this shit. Now you have Trudeau with the same stuff.
Yeah, it's
Congratulations.
a bit weird. I don't know what's going on anymore. Anyway.
How could this also be this guy? There's no way. This guy's a loser. There's no way he could be cool. To me, that argument is stupid because, although he's an alien, he literally looks like a human. So it's not that far-fetched to think that he would want to disguise himself as an average Joe Schmo. It's like that dumbass trope in movies where the nerd girl takes off her glasses and all of a sudden she's like super hot. Yeah.
That works. But go on.
Sure, glasses were the one thing blocking her from access to Pound Town. That's why she was an ugly virgin for her whole life, is because she was wearing glasses.
No, it's a whole look makeover. The glasses are part of it. Because they change completely how you perceive the face. Glasses can look cute if they're the right glasses.
Yeah, it's kind of like when you ever gone on a dating website or app and you have the several pictures of the girl and you scroll and you see, oh, she looks totally different in this picture. Oh, she's wearing a hat. That looks totally different. Like it just one accessory will change women's appearances so quickly, whether it's a hairstyle or a dress or a camera angle. Just like, oh, it's a totally different looking girl. Sometimes I have to make sure, or back in the day, I had to make sure this person was the same because they might have a group shot and like, who am I looking at here? Who's the girl in this profile? So
yeah,
women.
That's why I'm currently pissed because I need new glasses, and all the frames they sell right now are all shit. They all look like ass, and I'm not gonna use any of them. I need something that looks like the glasses I have, but nobody's making those frames anymore.
Yeah, so if you don't know a person that well enough, you don't see them well enough, they're going to look very different to you. It's with repeated usage, your brain starts putting the pieces together going, wait a second. This is the same person, I think. Anyway.
I'm going to do a little experiment with you guys, okay? Here's a picture of a person with glasses. Now let's remove those glasses.
No, that is bullshit. Because those are far-sight glasses.
Yeah.
They already distort the face completely. The eyes would not look like this. I don't know what the fuck.
They're basically bifocals, but they're big.
Can you see on the left how far the glasses extend her face?
Yeah.
Like a zoom in. She looks completely different, by the way, and I think she looks uglier without them.
I wouldn't say she looks ugly, but you could tell it does look very different. The only thing I could zero in on is the nose.
She has the hairline of an old man.
Everyone gets a different hairline as they grow up or grow old. So
she's in her 20s and her hairline starts at the top of her head. Why?
Wow, they're so much hotter, aren't they? It's like night and day. I mean, this doesn't even look like the same person. Also, every time that Superman, changes into his costume, he literally just rips off his suit. With the amount of times that this man has saved the city, you're telling me that not a single soul in the streets of the bustling city of Metropolis, home to 11 million citizens, has ever seen this man rip off his suit and start flying? There's no fucking way, dude. Yo, I just took a picture of this dude named Clark Kent, and he looks exactly like...
No, because nobody had smartphones in the original stories.
Well, the idea is he moves really fast.
And he is perceptive enough. He is fast enough to watch the Flash run. He would notice if somebody's around to notice him.
Yeah, the whole thing with the tearing off his shirt is just for the camera.
That as well.
When you haven't seen in comic books, he's like zipping at like 300 miles an hour. Even in
he's the guy who can do the walks behind a tree and comes out as Superman.
Yeah,
in a fluid motion.
Even with the Dean Cain Superman, they made a joke about him cleaning his room or whatever he was doing really quickly, and he was moving so fast the whole room was just as messy as he was moving things around. So, this is the guy who could spin on it like a top and get changed. So, makes no sense, but he can do it.
like Superman. I think he's Superman. Nah, dude, that's not Superman. I mean, like, they just deep faked Clark Kent's face onto Superman. Like, that's not even the same person. I mean, Clark Kent's got glasses, bro. Like, Superman doesn't have glasses. You can't be Superman. That doesn't make any sense. Next up, we have Batman. Billionaire, playboy, philanthropist Bruce Wayne is somehow able to hide the fact that he's Batman, even though he is seen constantly using very expensive technology. All of the gadgets.
Yeah, I'm sure everyone saw his echolocation device that's hidden in a secret room.
That you can't see most energy in the electromagnetic spectrum, so you wouldn't know that.
We are not sharks.
It's the same thing with Wi-Fi. You wouldn't know that this thing is pinging all over the city in every single radio transmitter in everyone's phone.
Oh, by the way, that technology totally works.
It's interesting.
And worse than you think.
Yeah.
You can train AIs to use the disturbances in your Wi-Fi field that your router creates in your apartment, in your house, to know where and who is moving. It's like a secret eye. It's absolutely insane.
So I think these are all different movie versions of the Batmobile and the Bat, whatever plane that thing that is. So they're all from different movies of Batman, and
the one at the bottom is a very small bat
yeah,
plane.
but this is, I mean, if you're gonna make an argument about being having a silly backstory for hiding your identity, Batman would be the obvious one. Like, it's just the one that has the most holes because he's just a guy. With Spider-Man, he's relatively quick. He can zip around the city really fast, and Superman, he's just too fast. So, yeah, Batman would be the best target. So at least he's got
the very thing that would give away Batman at any point in time is his chin.
Oh yeah, that's true. Gotta have those boots in the chin that just stick out all the time.
Just say are custom made to be bat themed, so you know those things are expensive.
Or he makes them himself, and he just buys.
He's got a big sponsor.
He buys a lot of iron and carbon, and he mashes it together on a blacksmith kiln, and he just smashes it and makes it himself.
He's building the bat plane in a blacksmith kiln.
He would do everything himself.
Like the survival guy on YouTube.
He would hammer out his own steel. Yeah.
Right. Tyler Preston says, fun fact: Clark Kent would dress up as Batman in order to have an alibi, since they're both the same height.
Yeah. There's so many episodes, let alone on comics, but in TV and the shows where they swap suits all the time. So again, very common in the comics, very common in the shows. They play around with this issue. It's not to be taken seriously. It's a comic book. We get it. You have to have some sort of camp with you.
Yeah, this guy acts as if the secret identity is never a problem. He's disingenuous about all these stories. Simple as.
Really matter, where is he getting this money for all of these expensive devices that he uses?
George Soros.
It's almost like he must have a lot of funding or something. Like maybe he's a billionaire or something. But to throw people off his trail, he comes up with the genius idea to say that he's just been funding Batman this whole time. He's not actually Batman. Yeah, sure, that's totally believable until you take into account how he's built. This dude is built like a fucking tank. Most billionaires don't even...
Well, it depends on what version of Batman. There's lots of versions of Batman where he's not built like a tank, so...
Elon Musk is built like a tank, a World War I tank.
The Russian World War I tank.
Come close to this guy's physique, and he looks like fucking Arnold Schwarzenegger in his prime. Like, there's no way. Oh, but he just wears big suits. That's how he hides all his muscles. Look at this dude's biceps, man. That's...
Well, what about the argument that he has body armor that's shaped like a body? So
Batman is not wearing suits. except for his armor.
Depends on which version of
But he's
Batman.
not wearing business suits. Batman is not wearing business suits.
That was one of the Pete Holmes joke this year with Wonder Woman, where she says, "You don't even have real abs under there." It's like, yes, I do. There's Bruce, there's Jiggly Bruce, and then there's abs. So, yeah, in the Batman movies, Return? Yeah, all the Begins. Yeah, the trilogy, the Nolan trilogy. It's body armor. He's not that ripped. He is strong. He's just not as strong as what he's made out to be. So,
it's like the good old Roman Greek muscle armor.
Yeah, he's taking the one example of Batman and saying, look how big he is. Like, yeah, he is muscular, but not in all depictions of Batman, and definitely not in the movies.
Yeah, and Space Junk brings up a good point. In Gotham, everybody's jacked.
Everyone's
Have you looked at Bane?
Oh Jesus, yeah. Well, everyone is a mobster. They're all big, whether fat or muscular. And yeah.
Or Scarecrow after his horrible redesign.
Yeah.
From this whimsical little guy that later they turned into this giant.
Yeah. Well, but Gotham's a weird place.
Fucking both of my thighs combined. How big could these suits possibly be?
Okay, if your thighs are that thin, you need to start working out. You need to get some workout going, man, because you're gonna die at 40.
That they could hide this man's muscles. This is what he'd look like while wearing these suits. You're not fooling anyone, man. Not to mention the scars and shit all over his body, like any woman close to him.
He's not out at the beach in trunks. People would ask questions.
Women would be able to figure out that he's Batman.
He doesn't have women close to him. He does play the playboy all the time, but he's not actually hooking up with any woman.
Yeah, we have to go to the comics to see examples, but he's on the right.
Catwoman is the only one he lets close.
He's on the right path, and he started with the tech thing, and that was in the money thing. I was like, yeah, that's a good argument. Fine. What else? Oh, he has scars on his body. He doesn't show. Where in the comics does he always take his top off? And he's hanging out in public. Like, how often is that? Where is that? Like, just give me better arguments. They're there. There's lots. These are not them.
This thing is super weak.
Seconds after he takes off his shirt. Also, isn't it quite suspicious how every time Bruce...
He doesn't look jacked there. He looks like a normal guy. Unless he's really tiny and super jacked and he's wearing a big suit. And that'd be kind of funny, wearing platform shoes or whatever.
Wayne, a new kid. Batman appears with a new child sidekick. Iron Man, on the other hand, just said, fuck it. I am Iron Man. Rare Iron Man W.
That's it?
That's one story of Iron Man.
How about his schedule? How about when he's seen in public and what time of day? And what happens the day before? Like, oh, he got injured, and where is Bruce? Why is he limping? Like, what? Can't we do like actual storylines where people are wondering where Bruce is and how dumb those are because they should figure it out? Like that would be a good dig. That would be a good evidence to showcase that, yeah, these people should have figured it out by now.
Yeah, so some of these were straw men. Some of these were playing ignorant of the wider stories of all these superhero stories. This was a really weak argument.
This is nothing new that we haven't heard, but even less.
All of these things are addressed in those very stories.
All he's saying is, look, Bruce is rich. Like, we agree. That is certainly a problem, but that's not enough to accuse someone of being Batman. That's just resources. Anyone can get resources if you're crafty enough. How about the fact that the police can't figure stuff out, but Batman can? So it's like, okay, is there someone in the police force that can do this, or is it some private detective? So then you go, okay, let's figure out who the private detectives are. Who's intelligent enough to do this? Who's strong enough to do this? Maybe it's a team of people. And then when you have the JLA involved, then it's like, oh, you have all kinds of resources, all kinds of people in orbit that can help Batman or could facilitate this. So there's lots of arguments to be had, but I didn't hear any of them. Just he's rich and he's got scars on his back. I'm like, that's not. Give me something. Give me an argument to facilitate this belief that Bruce Wayne is Batman. That's all you have to do. But like, if you did not know Bruce Wayne was Batman, how would you start this investigation? That's what this guy had to do. He'd look at all the rich people in Gotham, or I guess the DC universe.
The very thing that Bruce Wayne is a workaholic and Batman is a workaholic is already a deterrent to think that this is the same person.
You'd have to...
Because what person would be able to work both these jobs to that level?
Yeah, you'd have to then say, let's assume this person does not sleep, because how else could he do it? So how does he look so healthy and composed and controlled when anyone without sleep would be losing their minds? They would be They would be so psychotic.
You'd mentally deteriorate. You'd be your reflexes would slow. Your ability to judge would just go down the drain, and that's before the psychosis begins.
How would he be able to learn all of these techniques, be an amazing detective, a boxer, a martial artist, master? Like, how would he do this? You have to figure that out. So if he cannot come to these basic deductions, like, okay, to be a martial art master, you must study for 10 years or whatever. Fine. Where would he do this? Who would do this? How? Who would be the ideal person? And there's dozens of characters in the DC universe.
Training several hours every day.
Yeah, we're talking like Jean-Paul Valley is like this souped up, genetically created baby that has, was it gorilla genes in him or something? And he's got this religious order controlling his mind that he could turn on and off like a switch. His programming, like there's got to be some more deductive reasoning of how a person can be Batman. So it's not just have a guy from circus can do backflips. It's like he's got to be. Oh, geez. See, now I'm thinking of all the arguments to be made, how to figure out or to narrow down the window of who could be this masked vigilante character in Gotham City. And
you're cutting out a bit.
Yeah, sorry. Anyway, that was a pretty bad video.
Weak.
Yeah, fortunately.
Very weak.
Anyway, that was quick, so we didn't lose too much sleep over that. Not even an hour.
We seem to have a few memes.
We do? All right, let's check them out.
I hope they're worthwhile.
Okay. We'll see what we got. Turn off Mr.
Please
Seagal.
not just images of your favorite characters.
Let's turn off Seagal. He's in the way. Superheroes only keep their identity secret so they don't get sued for property damage. What? Property? Who's going to attack Superman in the North Pole? J. Jonah Jameson became a superhero so he could get those Spider-Man photos easier. Dear. You have to do better than glasses, Clark. Take this. Thank you, Bruce. Hi, I'm Clark. What the hell? Oh, Big Smoke, is that you via memes? Oh my goodness. What in the HTML is going on here? All right. Do I have to read this? Can I read this?
Lex, you're having a difficult day. If nothing else, I can at least learn the Flash's secret identity. I have no idea who this is.
Yeah.
Oh, that's when Lex is possessing him or something?
Yeah, they swap bodies.
Who the hell is this?
Don't forget
That is a great joke.
Don't
That
forget
is a
your
great
ID
joke.
card. Namor's hero identification card. Threat level. What the hell is this? Royal Palace. Oh dear. That's a cute outfit. Did your husband give it to you?
Why don't we have national IDs in Germany? Why don't they have threat levels on them?
Oh really?
I want that. That's cool.
0 to hero. The Pokemon transforms into its hero form when it switches out. Okay. So the cute version is when they fight?
I don't know this thing.
Yeah, three
This
stages.
is,
Struggle.
this is post first generation. I don't know anything about this.
Yeah, so is that Grundy or is that Hulk? I think that's Hulk. Grind. That could be Grundy. And then identity disorder is when he's not the Hulk? Is that Bruce Banner? I don't know. Essay writing. Cyberbullying. What the hell am I reading?
I don't get this.
Oh, what is that? What is the point of this?
That
Is this like a girl on a dating profile and she looks totally
is that
different?
a girl?
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
Well, the argument I would argue is they're the same person. And they look totally different when they're dressed up. Although I think on the right she's got plenty of makeup too. So
It's different hair. But I think they have different noses.
yeah, the
This is
noses
not-
are different, the lips are a bit different. The
The
eyes
ears are completely different.
yeah, these are different people.
And the one on the left does not have a chest at all. That's a man.
Okay. Anyway. It's you, isn't it? Don't tell Aunt May. Who the? All right, whatever. Evolution has made women talk in a high-pitched voice when they speak to someone they're attracted to. Okay.
Oh, that's because Batman always talks like this, and that's how the women talk around him.
Don't say that. Don't say that my name public. What? Who wrote that? Toby. Andrew.
Not somebody capable of the English language.
Toby, Andrew, and Tom Holland. Is Tom Holland the goofball? I have no idea. Oh dear. Characters having secret identities in Star Wars be like Sidious, Padme, Obi-Wan, Ben. Super Bowl's real name is Jim Bowl. What? All Might Boku no Hero Academia
That's great.
2016. Ha ha ha.
It's not wrong.
Who's this guy? Where'd the Hulk go? Oh my god. Me when an essayist says anything. Okay. Is that Frieza?
That's Cell.
Cell, sorry. Human version of Cell? Alright. The dialogue is fake, but it's accurate to the character. Look, Professor Xanax, was it? Professor Xanadu. I don't appreciate I wanted to help in the middle of the night of a fight. I especially don't appreciate it when it's a bunch of goddamn kids. Not to worry, Moon Knight. These field trip forums make such matters acceptable for my students. How about when one gets vaporized by a sentinel? Read the fine print.
Okay.
Hey, Mark, I'm Jake. Listen, Jake. Oops, Steven now. Okay, Steven. Mark again. Is that because Moon Knight has multiple personalities and he's just... Oh, God.
I think that's just how borderline personality disorder fakes multiple identities.
So stupid. All right. What about my secret identity? What secret identity? You're green. Haha. Oh, dear. What is this? Marvel fans, when you tell them you want to watch a film with character development, action, and practical effects and not a 2-hour green screen movie about CIA and military propaganda focus tested and later designed to never challenge your worldview or emotions. Okay. I don't know. Are they American propaganda? I have no clue. They sentence you to
I
watching.
wouldn't say American propaganda.
Oh,
You don't necessarily have the virtues in there.
can't be
But-
that bad.
Government, pro-government, maybe.
Yeah. Okay, I sentence you to watching Quentin Review's 38-hour Hollywood Hillbilly video essay, a real vid.
No,
Really? Quentin
YouTube
Reviews.
doesn't allow 38-hour videos.
That's weird. Mysterion Suspects. Mysterion?
Yes, Mysterion.
Harvey
He's the superhero of South Park.
Fierstein, Cartman, and Bruce Vilnick. All right.
Belange.
Oh, this one's good. It is the golden perfect. Its essence is truth, and truth brings understanding. That is what it reveals. You both now know the intent of my heart, as I now know yours. Diana of Themyscira, daughter of Queen Hippolyta, Clark Kent Kal-El, Batman. Seriously, that's your name? Shut up. The rope it's translating?
That's the scene that reveals that Batman believes he is Batman
Yeah,
and not Bruce Wayne.
yeah, exactly. I'm not sure how that relates to this, but okay.
We mentioned it briefly.
Video essay. Yo Mama drama rabbit hole featuring Yo Mama. What? In defense of Nicolas Cage. The
He can
shocking.
defend himself.
You don't need to defend Nicolas Cage. He's perfectly acceptable. The shockingly weird way Codename Kids Next Door ended. I don't know. I mean, you could make video essays on these topics if you really wanted to. The YouTube video
seen-
essay starter
What
pack.
was- I keep forgetting the fucking name of the movie.
Ridiculed.
Madeleine?
Coraline?
No.
All right, I don't know. Ridiculous claims in the title that never get brought up in the video. So now smells like Teen Spirit changed. How smells like Teen Spirit changed the world? Acting like a stiff, very popular thing, still very popular thing, is no longer successful. Where Coldplay went wrong. What? Coldplay? That's pretty popular nowadays. Acting like a just okay but very popular thing is the second coming of Christ because it's the popular opinion at the moment. Why WandaVision is perfect. Oh, God. Super long runtime. Using buzzwords like trauma to make it seem like a PG-13 superhero movie is way deeper than it actually is. Okay, I don't know.
Yeah.
There we go. My glasses. I can't see without my glasses. My glasses. I can't be seen without my glasses.
Totally different characters.
Here it is. The magic glasses that no one talks about. Hard R Cafe. Okay. The home invader looking through my kitchen window at 2:46 a.m. Me fully nude, maintaining solid eye contact the whole time, eating shredded cheese with a full erection and rifle on the tables. What the heck are you referring to, sir?
That was the scene in Superman. Was that Superman versus Batman?
Oh, God.
Or the other one? I at this point I'm mixing up all the names of all these movies because they're all kind of the same. That's where Flash is trying to run around Superman, and Superman is eyeing him. So Superman's eye is following Flash, and Flash is shocked as he's running, like, oh shit, oh shit, oh shit. That's that.
So here is where they actually don't believe it's him. Interesting. As far as I'm concerned, Peter Parker proved he has enough courage to match his brains. And for you, my dear ex-boyfriend, you've got neither. Holy smoke, what changed Liz Allen? She never even knew I was alive. Gosh, Liz, why are you mad at me for? Meanwhile, an angry Octotron rips the newspapers to shreds. In a fit of savage fury, they're making a laughingstock of me, saying that I was fooled by a teenager. Well, they're all... Oh, so they thought it was a joke. Oh, that's interesting. Some say Keaton is the best Batman, some say Christian Bale is, but deep down we all know Lego Batman has openly admitted to committing tax evasion and has faced no consequences. All right. Wait, does Batman live in Bruce Wayne's basement? No, Bruce Wayne lives in Batman's attic.
Correct.
Yeah.
Lego Batman is the best Batman.
I've got an extra ab. What? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Hello, police lady. Is that your son? No, that's just weird. It's weird if it's not your son. And that's the female version of I think that's the female version of Robin.
No, that's Barbara.
People who like Batman. People who like Superman. He's nice. I think there's more to it than that. Lex Luthor using a computer to determine Superman's identity and not liking the results. Just look at the page on the right. All
That's
right.
so much text. Holy shit.
That is too small and too much. Logical, is it? To a machine, perhaps. All right, I'll read that later. Yellow. Homer, there's a man here who thinks he can help you. Batman? No, he's a scientist. Batman's a scientist. It's not Batman.
It's one of my favorite scenes.
I don't need molded plastic to improve my physique. Oh. Is that when he was on The Simpsons or whatever the heck that is?
Yeah. Yeah, he voiced himself.
Yeah.
I think there's another scene where Homer does that Batman thing with a detective. Because Batman's a detective.
New theory, Bruce Wayne in the Batman was born in 1991. Theoretically then, he could have gone and seen Digimon, the movie, with his parents. The Angela Anaconda short started playing, and the Waynes walked out of the theater and got shot.
Meh.
I'm trying to connect the dots here. Why is Angela...
A kid that watched Digimon would not turn into Batman. Impossible.
Did he use my Batman Forever glass mug from McDonald's? Yes. What is this? What is this scene? That's a weird... I still have my Batman 2 milkshake. My brother had one too. I kept them both with the glow-in-the-dark Frisbee lid. Babylon B. Superman criticized as unrealistic for portraying a journalist as heroic. Har.
That is a great high note to end on.
Har. All right. That was some fun memes. I like those. Let's bring Steven Seagal back. There he is.
Just a very tired day.
Yeah, that was a horrible video, and I can't believe he got over 100,000 views. I guess you could just make a video about any stupid topic that everyone knows, and ramble on and try to be funny. So, I guess those are video ideas. If you ever want to start a video YouTube channel, I don't know, dude. Horrible video. Anyway, have yourself a great night. It's a relaxing day so far for me. I hope it is for you. Take it easy.